Guardians and Tigers. Oh man, I'm pretty honestly excited for this one. I had the Guardians all the way to the playoffs to start, and you can actually see that video if you like, but I encourage you to go after. And I've kind of had a change of heart. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the Touching Bases podcast. If you're new here, subscribe. It's free. It's one click and it makes me happy. Like at the end if I deserved it, and then comment below if you hate what I have to say. Share the video on X and Reddit so you can join all your buddies against me, and we can all yell at each other in the comments. Thank you. So I have a little bit of a, what's the word, kerfuffle with my feelings. That's probably the best way to put it. The Tigers are hot. They have a payroll less than John Hader's yearly salary. They knocked out the Astros in the sweep. They broke their 10-year drought in the playoffs with mostly just like their first and third year players. But their coach was the one that was suspended by the league because he was the coach of the Astros in 2017 for cheating. The Guardians, on the other hand, won their division. Jose Ramirez went 30-30 and almost 40-40, hitting 39 doubles, 39 home runs, and stole 41 bags. Didn't hear anything about him in the news. Steven Kwan hit a .292 this season with 14 home runs and posted a 3.9 WAR. Josh Naylor hit .243 with 31 home runs. Took the division with Shane Bieber out of the whole season. Ben Lively has been announced out of the roster for now. Alex Cobb, who they traded for to finally make his debut as a Guardian and hopefully get them a win. And then you have Tanner Bybee, Matthew Boyd, and Joey Cantillo, I believe I'm saying that right, has stepped up all season with insanely good bullpen right behind him. And yet, when I watch ESPN or anything, I still haven't heard a word about these guys. It's all Orioles, who are gone, by the way, and the Astros, who are gone, by the way, and the Braves, who are gone, by the way. They're kind of like the Brewers of the AL, where they get no recognition for their accomplishments, even though they got first place. And that's also funny because the Brewers are gone also. Cleveland fans, I mean, honestly, have to be pissed. I understand they're probably getting plenty of coverage in Cleveland on their local channels, but nationally, it's quiet. Even the fact that they're in the ALDS. But this could change because the Tigers, they have Skubal, which would be the biggest challenge of all, but if you can get to those openers, that opening style pitching, like when they throw in Casey Mize, Herter, Holton, and Brisket, I think it's Brisket, the Guardians kind of have a chance. And if you check my predictions on the video that I mentioned earlier, laid out why I thought the Guardians were going to have the advantage, and that include like park factors, their history, the pitching, the matchups, all that, consistency of offense, but I really dig into it a little bit deeper. So if you're interested and you're a Guardians fan, I'd recommend looking into it. It's hard, but I still kind of have the take that the Guardians are going to win over the Tigers, even though I kind of want to root for the Tigers. Now, honestly, I think Cobb is going to have a great start. I don't know if he's going to be pitching in game 2 or not. For some reason, the whole Guardians team feels like it's going to wake up. I wrote all of my videos before this started, and I'm not recording until midway through a lot of these games. And in fact, game 1 is over for the Tigers, who lost 7-0, and they beat that opener, like I mentioned. Tomorrow with Skubal, we'll see what happens, and I'm going to stick to my guns. What I was surprised is Reese Olson. I didn't think he'd do very well. He's had kind of a rough last few games, and he's been in and out of injury, but he held his own, and he did pretty well today. They probably should have started him instead of putting in Holton. 2020 hindsight, because Holton's been amazing, but it really backfired. I also understand why they didn't choose Olson to start, because he's only pitched 3 games in July, and he did very well with an ERA under 3, but he missed August, and in September he pitched 3 games where he was god-awful. He had a 6.75 ERA against teams I would say are much worse offensively than the Guardians. He pitched against the Royals, the Orioles, and the Rays. Not the best. You can say your debates when it comes to Orioles and Royals, but the Orioles and Royals have both been terrible at the end of the season. Now that game 1 is over and Holton blew it, he didn't get pulled because of innings, but because he gave up 5 runs without getting his first out. Olson did better, I thought, than he would, which is good for him because this year's been very iffy. And then Bybee was just insanely good. He was a monster. It's like the magical Amish beard that he grew is working for him. I was gonna say I predicted the Guardians were gonna take game 1, but I mean, at this point, it's stupid to say that because the game's already over and we already know the answer. But I didn't think it was going to be a landslide. I was guessing maybe like a high-scoring game of like 9-8 or 6-5 or something like that, not 7-0. So this is either going to douse the flames of the Tigers and, I don't know, cool them off a little bit, or they're going to come back tomorrow behind Skubal and even this whole thing out. Series-wise, Tigers take this to game 4, but I think Cleveland kind of locks it down with their elite pitching, and they're so well rested in that rotation. And of course, Class A was amazing to close it out today, which I didn't think it was actually needed because they had a 7-run lead, but that's beside the point. I could be wrong. I could, and I honestly wouldn't be mad because, like I said, I kind of rooting for this Tigers team, but you know, I got to stick to my gut feeling after all the research, and I did make a video saying that the Guardians were going to make it past this, so I'm going to say the Guardians are going to take this series. But I think besides the School Bowl game, these are kind of going to be the highest scoring games we're going to see in the NLDS ALDS mix. It's just it's kind of already proven with a 7-0 win. But what do you think? I mean, Tigers fans are going to be pissed off, so tell me why you think I'm wrong. Are the Tigers going to continue their hot bats into this series and kind of wake up? I'm going to guess they just needed 2 days break, and today was considered a break for them. Or will Cleveland prove to be the kings of slugging and just dominate this entire series and take them out in 3 games? Comment who you got. Gleyber Torres just hit a home run, so 2-1 lead for the Royals. As you guys know, when I'm recording this stuff, and I'm going to get out to you as soon as possible. Interesting game. By the way, is Bob Costas calling this game in New York? Because it is so underwhelming and boring. I love you guys. I'll see you later. Bye.